Hey everybody, Doug here. Welcome back to yet another board game channel and yet another episode of Arkham Horror the card game. We are still trying to deal with this nasty Rougarou wandering around New Orleans and its surroundings. I think we're doing okay. Big problem that we have is we're kind of on a timer for Jenny, because she if we don't get her to hit stuff, she goes down to sanity. She takes a horror every single turn. And she can do that how many more times? She's at 4. She can take 5, 6. She can foist one off on Leo DeLuca. That's 3. And then a fourth one will take her down, leaving Pete to finish this off on his own. We're trying to do the secondary way of getting rid of it by collecting a bunch of clues, attaching a trap to the Rougarou, damaging it a little bit, and either finding a binding stone or a strange doll. It's within the realm of possibility, but we've got to be fast. The only other option is hitting the Rougarou. It always runs away to the furthest possible spot. So I suppose in theory we could have, Pete one place, Jenny the other, and they just keep hitting it and having it bounce back and forth. The problem is they need to spend a clue every single time to engage it. So they have to collect a bunch of clues anyway, so we might as well go with this route, which involves a bunch of clues. So the plan at the moment is to have Pete spend he does have one clue, spend it to engage to the Rougarou, hopefully hit it, and have it scurry away, and leave enough clues. I wonder if it'll be enough clues behind to collect and finish this thing off. But we'll see how that goes. It's the plan so far. We'll see what kind of encounter cards turn up. So we will get right into it. Got to hop right into the dreaded Mythos phase. Alright, step 1, add a doom to the agenda. We're up to 4. 2 more and that's going to flip. Alright, time for the encounter cards, starting with our lead investigator, Jenny. Alright, what do we get? On the prowl. Oh. Surge, which means if we can't do this, we choose another card instead, but we can. Revelation. Find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou one location at a time until it enters that location. Yes, the Rougarou is on the move. Okay, so Pete doesn't need to hit it. It's just gonna run away anyhow, leaving a mess of clues behind. Yay. We still have to hit it at some point because we have to do at least 2 damage. But for now, yeah, let's just go to the map for a moment and see where the Rougarou moves. Okay, non-bayou location with the fewest amount of clues, except the one it's at, because it has to move to do so. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 of them without any clues. Can't go to that one because there's a clue there. So to get the most amount of clues, I'm going to have, well, Rougarou, every time it leaves a location, it drops a clue, so that it's going to move to the marsh, going to pass through the swamp. Hi, Jenny. Pass through the cursed shores, and then, well, it's not going to drop one because it stops at this unrevealed New Orleans card. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 on there. Pete has an 8th one, but then we would need at least one more to engage with the Rougarou to hit it. So we'll need one more clue to show up on the board. Okay, not sure if this simplifies or complicates things. Well, let's see what Pete draws first before we decide whether this is good or bad. All right, Pete chooses, or draws rather, Beast of the Bayou, Revelation. Let's see, driven by hunger, it cares for naught but its next meal. The Rougarou makes an immediate attack against each investigator at the Rougarou's location and each connecting location. Okay, that's fine. We're not going to get hit. If no attacks were made by this effect, place 1 doom on the current agenda. Oh dear, that brings us up to 5 of our 6. That's going to flip next turn. So kind of a good news, bad news on that one. Right, so this is going to involve a little bit of a rethink on exactly what to do. Well, I think Jenny's going to do much the same as I had planned. Pete, on the other hand, yeah, he's not fighting anything. Well, oh, and I forgot, duh, back to the map. Right, very importantly, when the Rougarou passed through Forgotten Marsh, it got the bear trap attached to it. Forced, after the Rougarou enters attached location, attach bear trap to the Rougarou. So it now has -1 fight and -1 evade, so it's going to be easier to hit, which is good because it puts it down to a 2, although I know there are many cards, well, some anyway, in the deck that actually increase attack and evade on the Rougarou, but that's okay. We've got it down to 2 and 2 on that. So that means we have actually fulfilled one of our 4 criteria. Rougarou must have a trap card attached to it, and I don't think there's a way for that to disappear unless there's a really, really nasty card in the deck. Please don't do that to us. All right, on to the investigation phase then. Okay, we're going to start with Pete because his actions are going to be rather simpler. We are going to, yeah, this is a really bad thing because it means we can't keep using Duke. The Racked by Nightmares means that yeah, we can't, yeah, sorry, I accidentally fixed Duke. Duke should have been exhausted when this happened. We can't unexhaust Duke, and he's the, yeah, that's what lets us do really good investigations. So we're going to have to, unfortunately, spend 2 of his 3 actions to discard Racked by Nightmares. That goes into his discard pile. Then, for his 3rd and final action, well, actually, first of all, as a free action, we're going to have to discard a card from our hand to ready Duke. I'm going to go ahead, going to get rid of bait and switch. I know it's good for evading stuff, but there's nothing to evade at the moment, and all of these other things are better things, I think. So I'm going to discard bait and switch, which allows us for free to unexhaust Duke, who we will now use to investigate our location. Okay, we are going to attempt to get this clue in the twisted underbrush, so off camera down there, I am exhausting Duke to investigate at a base skill of 4 versus a 3, so we need a -1 or better. Is there anything I want to throw at that? Actually, there isn't anything. Well, there's the unexpected courage. That's got 2 wild cards. I'd rather save that for a rather larger gap. So we want -1 or... I'm having trouble grabbing anything. Where are we? Camera problems. 0! Yes. So... yeah. Fine, I keep thinking that there was an extra step there for some reason. Alright, so we have acquired another clue that gives Pete 2 clues. And he is done. Alright, now to figure out what to do with Jenny. Alright, Jenny still has 4 actions because Leo DeLuca is still holding on. We haven't killed him off yet. I think first thing we're going to do is take advantage of Lady Esprit being there. I'm going to exhaust her and put 1 horror on her in order to get rid of 2 damage from Jenny. She still got too much horror damage, but she had 6 physical damage. She was down to 2 HP. Yeah, that's bad. And it's there. Yeah, we'll just take advantage of it. Now, for our next couple of actions at least, we are going to try to pick up both of those clues there. I've got... So it's actually a Shroud of 3 because of the Spectral Mist. So she's drawing at even odds. Let's see. Do I want to use anything? Now, I don't think I will for this because it's not too bad. Okay, we'll just hope for a 0 or better. Hold on, let me have another look at my cards. Yeah, the only thing I could spend is double or nothing, which won't help because it makes the test twice as difficult. Or elusive. Yeah, okay. Let's spend elusive, give ourselves 1 extra investigative point. So we are now working at 4 versus 3, so we want a -1 or better, and we get, not looking, -3. Okay. Third action, we are going to try again. Now we need 0 or better, and we got, okay, we got a +1 that time. So Jenny now has a clue on her. So I guess fourth action, we are going to try again. Again, we want 0 or better. What have I got there? Oh, there's the -3 again. So black. Spent a lot of time with very little result, and she's going to take a horror because she didn't attack anything. I think next turn she's just going to have to ignore that last clue. Maybe head down there and let herself get stuck with the swamp leech so she can then attack it and not take any horror damage and then work on those clues. But that's for next turn. Yeah, we're done that, so now we move on to the enemy phase. And the enemy phase, nothing happens. Rougarou does not move. Swamp Leech does not move. We are done. So we'll just move on to the upkeep phase. So everything untaps. So yeah, Lady Esprit is back and ready to heal again if we choose to do so. Now let's move to Jenny for her upkeep. Alright, Jenny draws a new card first. Oh, her Twin 45. Well, we're not fighting the Rougarou. Although this will probably be very good. Make it easier for her to combat the Swamp Leech next turn. But she got her guns. They say, are those Mr. Donohue's guns? Jenny held a pistol over her shoulder and struck a pose. I think they suit me better than him. Don't you agree? She would have to drop her 41 Derringer, but that is out of ammo. And she will take 2 resources, putting her at 2, 4, 6, 7. All right, now Pete's upkeep. Okay, Pete gets to put Duke back into play. He will draw himself a card. Oh, the Beat Cop, which is good for fighting. See if we have to fight. Yeah, get a +1 fight. As a free action, you can discard it and deal 1 damage to an enemy at your location. And it would also be good for a little bit of damage absorption. Then Pete gets another resource. Alright, that's it for that turn. Now we will be going back into the Mythos phase. And unfortunately, moving over to the next agenda card, because we had an extra Doom put on there. Okay, there we go. We added Doom. That makes 6. So we're going to flip this over and see what awaits us. The 10th Night. A clash of thunder roars through the sky, and you reel in pain from the sudden explosion of noise. Your vision doubles, and bile leaps up your throat. A lone howl returns the call of the sky, echoing throughout the bayou. You wrench yourself off the muddy ground and find your bearings, unable to shake the feeling that you're running out of time. Yeah, I was fully aware of that. Shuffle all copies of On the Prowl from the Encounter discard pile into the Encounter deck. Do we have... We have 1, 2. Okay, there were 2. 2, and we'll just grab this and shuffle them back in. Of course, it running around is, again, not necessarily a bad thing, because he'll drop more clues for us to pick up. If the Rougarou is in play, yes, find a non-bayou location with the fewest clues on it. Move the Rougarou 1 location at a time until it enters that location. Okay. It's actually giving us a little bit of extra ability to get clues. Yeah, because if it keeps dropping them in non-bayou locations, that makes it a little bit easier. If the Rougarou is not in play, well, not an issue. Which leaves us with the final chapter, The Curse Spreads. Tendrils of slime ooze from the bogs, crawling over tree roots and grasping at you as you pass. The air hangs heavy with a noxious heat. You feel as though you are sinking deep into the bayou, sinking beneath the heaviness of the black sky and the rank mist. Forced. If, let's see, at the end of the investigation phase, if the Rougarou is not engaged with an investigator, add 1 Doom to this agenda. Oh, And we've got to get through 8. Oh, yes, I have a feeling we are going to run out of time on this. Because we're going to have to spend clues to be a... Oh, yeah, we're going to race through that last one. All right, well, go to the map. Do what it said here to have it move around. And then we'll draw encounter cards. Okay, Bayou location with fewest clues, or non-Bayou location. So that's going to be either the ritual grounds, the twisted underbrush, or the trapper's cabin. Okay, well, let's go to the trapper's cabin, because again, it will leave the most amount of clues strewn about the place. It's going to move from there, through here, through the swamp, and through the Forgotten Marsh. Yeah, and Pete may have to willingly go over there on his turn and just let himself get hit by the Rougarou. Okay, now encounter cards. Okay, I'm not going to zoom into each investigator as we choose the cards because half the cards seem to show up on the map anyway. So Jenny goes first, and yeah, there we go. On the prowl, going to move it to a non-Bayou location with fewest clues. So again, we have 1, 2, 3 choices. Let's have it move. Let's have it move to the overgrown cairns, let's say. So it leaves a clue there. Actually, no. Well, it will leave a clue there and a clue there. We want to make it easy for Pete to be engaged with it at the end of the turn, and that'll be too far away. So it's going to move to the twisted underbrush. Yeah, this is about to get very challenging. All right, and Pete, oh, the other on the prowl. I swear I shuffled. You saw me shuffle. So it's going to move anyway. Okay, now it'll go to the overgrown cairns. And it'll leave a clue here, and a clue here, and a clue here. Oof. Lots of clues, no easy way to get them. And we still have to get that binding stone, or maybe have a look at these two locations and see if the... What was it? It was a strange doll, if it's under one of those. Having not played this scenario before, I don't know. All right, I will have a think about what to do with the investigation phase. Okay, I'm going to start with Pete again this round. Again, because I think his are just going to be simpler. First thing he's going to do is investigate in that area, in the underbrush. We're going to exhaust Duke, which means we are investigating at a skill of 4 versus a shroud of 3. Doesn't, yeah, we don't have any cards that'll be good for this. Well, one that would be, but I'm saving it for an investigation coming up. So we need a -1 or better. -1. Pete's got a third clue. We have 4 clues. We're actually halfway. Maybe we can pull this off. Okay. Before we do a second action, as a free action, we're going to use Pete's ability to discard a card from her hand and ready an asset. I'm going to get rid of Dig Deep because it's going to be passing through the Forgotten Marsh in the next couple of turns, and he's going to lose 2 resources just from doing that, and so he's not going to have very many resources to spend on these anyway. So we're going to discard Dig Deep, put Duke back into play. Then we're going to exhaust Duke and investigate, and we're going to take advantage of the moving to a connecting location immediately before investigating with the effect. So he basically gets a free move to the Forgotten Marsh. And we will be doing the same thing. It's going to be Duke's 4 versus the location of 2 plus 1 from the stupid mist. So we need -1 or better again. Skull. Remind me what skull is. Skull is a -2, -4 if you're at a bayou location. Well, we didn't get it either way. So, third action, he's going to investigate again. And what we're going to do is use unexpected courage. Because, yeah, I mean, it's basically the same as discarding a card to ready Duke. Yeah, I don't know if I want to get rid of... Well, you know what? We're not going to get these guys out. Not both of them anyway. Which is better? We're actually not doing a whole lot of combat. I'm going to go ahead and discard... It's a shame to see him go, but I'm going to discard Beat Cop to ready Duke once more, then exhaust him, and again we need a -1 or better, and we got the skull again. Damn. Okay, that's it for Pete. Tiny amount of success for Pete, but much less than I'd hoped. Alright, now we're going to send Jenny off to do some fighting and exploring. Okay, first thing we're going to do for Jenny is put her twin 45s in play. We can spend X amount of resources to set basically the amount of ammo that's happening. We're not going to get a chance to do a whole lot of fighting. Just in case, I'm going to put into play with, we're going to say 4 ammo. Got to spend 4 and just put them straight on the card. And she now, oh right, we do have to discard the Derringer, the one that doesn't have any more bullets, because the twin 45s take up both of her hands. I honestly don't think we're going to get a chance to do much fighting. But we'll see. I can also, I don't want to use up too many resources because I can just pump using physical training. Alright, that's her first action. First of 4, she still has 4. Second action, she is going to move to the Cursed Shores, at which point the Swamp Leech attaches itself to her. Put that in her threat area. For her next action, she's going to attack that, but before we do, we get to reveal what's on the other side of Cursed Shores. Black storm clouds loom above you, watching patiently as you trudge through the bayou. Their shapes twist and churn in the night sky, blotting out the stars. Okay, location, it's only got a shroud of 1, so it's only going to be at 2 with the Spectral Mist. That's not so bad. As an action, you can take 1 damage. You get +2 to your skill value for the next skill test you make this turn. Forced. When you leave Cursed Shores, choose and discard a skill card from your hand. Ooh. Okay. Not wild about that. Let's just move that around. Alright, no, actually I want that underneath. Okay. Oh, I don't want to discard cards if I can help it. I do just have 2 skill cards at the moment. I'd be okay with getting rid of double or nothing when I move out because it just makes a skill test too hard anyway. Anyway, third action, she is going to attack that Swamp Leech. Okay. The Swamp Leech, it's got a fight of 4. So if we use Jenny's guns, if we use her Twin 45, she'll be fighting at 5. Spend 1 ammo, fight, you get +2 fight for this attack. This attack deals +1 damage, doesn't matter, the leech has only got 1. So yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to fire off. So she's at a 5 versus the 4. Just to get our odds a little bit better, going to spend, she's going to get 2. She's going to get 2 resources back during upkeep. So maybe I'll just do I want to spend 1 or 2? If I spend 1, I'll put her at 3, 4, 5. I'll put her at 6. So we need a -2 or better. Let's spend a couple. Might be overkill, but it's better than failing. So that means she's at a 7 versus 3. So a -3 or better. So those are pretty good odds. We got the cultist who is... just the -2. If the Rougarou is at your location, reveal another token, making it even lower. But he's not, so that was success. She actually manages to shoot the Swamp Leech. Good shooting there. So that goes into the discard pile. She's not going to take a horror at the end of this turn. I was going to have her move to one of these locations to see what was there, but I've got to think about discarding the skill card. So instead, for her final action, just make sure that was 1 to arm, 2 to move, 3 to shoot. Okay, and her 4th bonus action, she's going to investigate. See if she can get one of those clues, because it's only a 2, the shroud with the spectral mist. She's at 3, so we need a -1 or better. -1. That puts us up to 5 clues. We're getting there. But are we getting there fast enough? Now, we have reached the end of the investigation phase, and nobody has managed to be engaged with the Rougarou, so we're going to add 1 doom to the curse spreads. Might be able to slow this down a little bit, but I don't think we'll be able to do it too much. We've got to get extremely lucky for the next couple of turns. Alright, that's it for investigation. So, on to the enemy phase. Actually, I won't bother moving over to the enemy phase. We've just got the Rougarou, who we now know is not going to move. So let's move on to upkeep. Well, we're already at Jenny here. So she's going to draw her card. Machete. which is not going to do her a massive amount of good right now. Her guns are better. And she's going to get 2 resources, putting her back up to 3. All right, let's see what Pete gets. Okay, Pete draws Perception, which will be great for getting a clue. So we'll add that. Oh yes, and we ready Duke. And he also gets a resource, putting him at 3. All right, we will zoom out and wrap up the episode. All right, we are slowly inching our way towards getting all of this. Let's review. Right, we need to have 8 clues. We have 5. We'll actually need at least a 9th to engage the Rougarou so we can do 1 damage to it. We may need to engage with it a couple more times in the meantime as well to stop the Doom from building up twice as fast. We've done the trap. Yeah, we want to attack it a little bit. And we need either the Binding Stone or the Strange Doll. May just have to go for broke with the Binding Stone. Jenny, once she builds up more resources, might be able to pull that off. Yeah, because it'll be against a willpower of 8. Get +1 for each horror you willingly take, which we really do not want her to do. But she has physical training, so if she had... Ignore that. So if she had a whole bunch of resources, she could just throw a lot of money at the problem and boost her willpower by 1 for each resource. Maybe that's what we'll need to do. And also maybe throw a skill card at it if we're able to. We've only got 1 with willpower. Well, it wouldn't be a skill card. It would be an asset, but we would use the icon on it. So maybe if she can get more of these and a whole bunch more, it's going to be actually really close. It depends on how well we can stop the Doom from rushing along. Okay, we'll see what happens next time. Thanks very much everybody for watching. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. I appreciate it. And we'll see you next time for yet another round of Arkham Horror, the card game. So long.